This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio by the Cleveland Clinic and Prince Masters.
Marcus Garvey family, ancestors no leave me. Naya Bingi, Bobo Shanti. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh, oh. Ay, 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 ay. Hey, hey. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, hey, listen, the blood of African kings run in my vein. Here in Jamaica, rebellious offspring. We've got a warrior spirit inside. From that time, we can't change. And this a warrior spirit inside. It come for break every shackle and chain. Mana Shaka Zulu.
And welcome to another edition of Guardian Radio. Today with your host, Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Elias III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Happy to be with you on another Tuesday. I'll be with you up until the 4 o'clock hour. Got another great show planned for you today. And just please stay hydrated, people. It's hot. It's hot. Make sure you stay hydrated. Stay safe on the streets as you drive today. And, it's summertime, so stay productively busy. I got a special guest in studio today. And before I introduce him, I just want to let you know what the phone lines will be once we open them. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720. The Guardian BTC, and the number is 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com. You can also tune in through Cable Bahamas, channel 969, or BTC Flow channel 612. Today, my special guest is a brother of mine who, throughout the school year, he's very busy. And so while the summer months are here, you're going to hear his voice several times throughout the summer. I'm going to let him introduce himself. And I'm saying that because he wears makeup, pigeonhole him into one particular area. I want him to introduce himself, but please, if you're driving, don't clap, but just clip maybe. I want to give it up for our brother Ian Mora. Welcome, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's glad to be here again. I'm looking around the studio. I haven't been here for a while. So
wow.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, man. Congratulations, because one of his daughters graduated from McCaffrey International Academy.
Big up McCaffrey.
Yes, indeed. Big up McCaffrey. Big up Dr. Higgs and everybody down there at McCaffrey. And while we were at the graduation, he said, hey, man, let's go. Let's get some things done. Give people just a synopsis of who you are so that they can understand exactly who they're listening to today.
Okay. Well, first of all, I am the son of Valentine and Beverly Mora. That's very important.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then I am the husband of Siobhan Lightborn Mora, and the father of Nzinga, Ya Asantewa, Akila Ayatoro, and Diallo Mora. Those are the most important aspects of my life.
Yes.
The things that I do, I've always been active in the Rastafari community, the Pan-African community, the reparations community, anything that would bring healing to the Black community. It started off with Grantstown After School program, where we did work in the Grantstown community, taking children to various family islands for cultural immersion camps. Then from there, that evolved into me working at Program Shore, which is the Ministry of Education's program for special needs young men between the ages of 13 to 16, of which I am now the principal. This is my, that I would have been the principal there. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Seems like it's been longer, but 3 years, eh?
Yeah, but I've been working there for 20 years.
Okay, that's
but
why
only
I felt.
principal for 3
Okay,
years.
yes. I know you've been intricately involved with Program Shore. And we'll get into the program in a bit. We in this country, like most Caribbean nations, and quite frankly, throughout the diaspora, we are all in our own respective ways trying to guide children to what we would consider the best path for their success. Yes. When we look at education, and again throughout the diaspora, the song that we played to open the show, and that'll be playing throughout the show, it talks about this warrior spirit inside of us. That the education system, in many ways, will demonize or completely ignore, whereby when issues arise, it just automatically seems as if children themselves are also demonized. Because why are you acting out? Why aren't you just doing your schoolwork? Why aren't you just trying to participate in society as a responsible individual? When in fact, when we really do the research to understand what education was, we did this show, I think last week or week before last, the fact that it is a weapon of colonialization that is extracting now the minds that this system, and I'm careful with how I'm saying it because they even make us down the children, right? Because they'll talk about this brain drain. Who are staying here are less than. It's just that the system can't use them the way that they want to use them.
Okay.
That's how I see it, right? And I'm going to get your point on it. But as an educator, brother Ian, what has been your experience in even school as well as with the Indaba Project in dealing with these young and now even older children who have what they would call a warrior spirit inside, and helping them to navigate this system? What has been your experience?
Well, let me say, I came into education, especially as a Rastafari, to bring a healing. I'm aware of the criticisms.
Okay.
I used to be one of them who would criticize. But I also feel then I got to be trying to fix it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so I not only went into education, but I went towards this special demographic.
Okay.
Of students, and you refer to them as warrior. I had initially referred to them as special needs, right? Because normally people use words like at risk, we use rude, we use defiant, and I mean, all of these may be relevant, right? But we have to understand that in the context of how education is laid out in general, these individuals whom I deal with have special needs. Okay. They have special needs with regards to literacy and numeracy. And so we deal with remediation at our program. We do an assessment. The teachers do an assessment when they first come in. And then we work with them over the year to improve their reading, to improve their ability to perform in a mathematics classes, right? Then for those that have behavioral challenges, yes, it might be the same boy that is rude to you. We have to look at what's happening behind that. Why? Why is he rude? What's going on? And then you get to understand that there's a wider picture of who he is. And that rudeness, that antisocial behavior that you are experiencing is because he personally doesn't see himself, whatever the education system is, he doesn't see himself as being able to excel in it.
Yeah.
And so a mixture of him trying to navigate that system as best as possible, while at the same time trying to save his pride. Nobody wants to be looked down upon.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as a society on the whole, when people aren't able to meet the standards that we set, we have a tendency to look down on them as opposed to try and figure out why they aren't doing that and try and find a path to uplift them.
Yeah.
Well, for us at Program Show, we have to try and find that path to uplift them. Reason being, when we fail, we see the results in society.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's real time.
Yeah.
And so we have to frame it differently so that we can understand what the behavior is. If it's a learning disability, if it's a behavioral disability, if it's environmental, we have to understand all of this. But then we have to also put the responsibility on the student.
Okay.
If you are blind, the world doesn't somehow provide you with vision. If you are deaf, the world doesn't somehow provide you with hearing. You have to learn how to navigate the world with those tendencies, right? Because I don't want to call them talk down to them either.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to navigate the world as that. So if you're hyperactive, you have to learn how to navigate the world as a hyperactive person.
Wow.
If you are you have oppositional defiance disorder, that's the rude ones, quote unquote. You have to learn how to understand that, hold on, I have triggers. And it is my responsibility being triggered so that I can manage them.
So you help the children to recognize that this is some of the things you're dealing with, and this is how we're going to help you to navigate what it is that you're dealing with. Because I'm sure some of them don't know that everybody's not like me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then there is a lot of trauma that goes on. Neglect is and oftentimes is traumatic. And oftentimes we label the parents as less than. You know, we like to throw out, especially in the media, I hear it straight through. We like to point the finger. What are these parents doing? What are these parents doing? Well, from my experience, these parents are usually single mothers or single fathers who are working jobs that have high requirements of their time, but then their pay is low.
Yes.
And so by time as they get home, they would have given all of their energy to the job, and the children end up getting left out.
Wow.
By time as the parent realizes what's going on, it's already manifesting into behaviors that might be negative that the parent just aren't equipped to address. To address these behaviors because you require specialized skill, you know. And so part of what we have to do is empower and support the parents through the whole journey so that they could see, hold on, my child is not a problem. My child has a problem.
Wow.
And we can fix it.
Yes, yes. This text says, some of these children are literally chemically unbalanced. Some may need to be on low-dose controlled medication, throw unregulated, uncontrolled, they say marijuana on top of their issue, and you have a powder keg. What say you to that?
I think those are themes, you know, people who are not directly involved with the healing process. And some of those things are right, but you just can't use a broad brush because every single child has their own story. And so we can't, not every child that comes to Program Show is a marijuana smoker.
Okay.
Not every child that comes to Program Show, their parents It's just about the food that they are eating. However, regardless of whatever the condition is, we have to train both the parents and the students, and this is what you're up against.
Right.
I had a student years ago when I was a teacher. We would give them Hawaiian punch.
Okay.
They could buy Hawaiian punch. So he come in the morning and he drinking this Hawaiian punch. Well, just from looking at the behavior, I realized that Hawaiian punch had him like banging off the wall. I mean, like literally running around the campus.
Wow.
So just as a trial and error, because that's a lot of what we do, right? A trial and error, I asked him to stop giving him the Hawaiian punch in the morning.
Yeah.
We started introducing water, which is what we still use now, right? And we saw a difference in the behavior.
Okay.
So I won't dismiss that the chemicals have an impact on them. If you have a hyperactive child and he has juice with lots of sugar in it early in the morning, that's going to have an impact on him, and so that is something we would have to share with the parents. That is something we would have to make the necessary adjustments, because after they're finished with our program, they're going to go back into society.
Right.
They're going to go back into the regular school system. And so the regular school system with hundreds of students in it won't have the luxury like what we have of being so individualistic in understanding what's going on with him. So we then have to say to him, listen, when you drink this, this is what happens, and this is what causes you to get into problems. If you want to avoid problems, then you have to stop doing this, and we have to give him an alternative. So let's try using juice instead, like 100% juice, instead of stay away from soda in the morning. We all know that anyway. But then sometimes you can't assume that people know anything.
Right.
And you have to empower them based on what you understand is their particular condition.
Yeah.
And so we can't use a broad brush per se, because every child is different. But as the text has said, those are some factors.
And then you mentioned a very important point. Parents are given their all in jobs where they're not being sufficiently paid. So sometimes they can only afford the cheaper juice that's not 100%.
Exactly.
And they doing their best. They don't want to send a child with nothing, so they give them whatever's there.
Exactly.
And now, so it's a double.
Because they have to make it stretch. One of the things from early that I don't know if this can offend some people in a very Christian nation, but one of the things that I pointed out from early was just how Jesus changed the fish and the loaf and was able to feed everyone. We don't realize that there are many parents out there doing that same thing on a weekly basis.
That is true.
They have stayed, their salary can only last them maybe 2-3 days.
Yes.
But they're making it through 7.
Yes.
That's
real talk.
And because they don't have a lot of money, we don't realize that they are putting in, because we recognize money and titles. And as a result of society not recognizing that adds another pressure on that parent, which disallows them from being the type of parent their child needs.
Right.
So sometimes we have to point that out both to the child and to them, so that they could be a little bit more empowered and realize that, hold on, we understand what you're doing might not be enough, but what you're doing based on the resources that you have is a tremendous effort.
Yeah, definitely. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and the Family Violence 242-300-5720. That's toll free. Call you live here on Guardian Radio today.
Hey, great show, school. How you doing?
Hey, great, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling.
I was tuning into the show just now, right? I think that your guests, right? The activity levels of the kids nowadays are different. I'll give you a prime example I'm talking about, right? Your guests, I don't know how old you are, right? But Schoolie could tell you, no one drink more Kool-Aid than us back in the day. And the Schoolie, tell them how you make Kool-Aid. The perfect way to make Kool-Aid is you put the whole bag of sugar inside the pitcher. If you ain't a whole bag of sugar, pitcher that twice a day. But our activity levels was different. We outside all day long. We running around the house like we on crack. But the kids nowadays, they stuck inside, no form of activities. And you can't really blame the parents. One, you can't trust the village nowadays to raise the children. And number two, they're too old outside. You send your child outside now, that's abuse. Well, you say what it is?
It is hard.
Well, and summertime, you can remember at any point in your life, right, that in the summertime you couldn't go outside because it's too hot?
Well, they didn't care. We had to go. Mind you, we'd find a tree. But let me tell
you something. Our punishment back in the day was you couldn't go outside.
You got to stay inside.
Is to send them outside.
Yeah. I appreciate it, bro. Let me let the guest respond.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
You know, especially on the activity part. Right now, with the teachers that work with me, I try to encourage them as much as possible to use activities.
Yeah.
You know, there are different types of learners. Not everybody learns best by sitting down and writing.
Yeah.
Not everyone learns best by watching or writing notes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, very few people learn best that way.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. We notice because when political season come, they don't teach us about their parties through these the same ways they want you to learn in school. They just play music. They just put up posters. All this because they want you to learn their name. They want you to learn their party. The same tools that they use during the political season could work. And the rally is a big...
Exactly. Yeah. And what we have to do is begin to understand how people learn and then be willing to change what we do in order to get that happen. Now, I can say under the last minister and the present director of education, I saw a real drive towards changing things to be able to catch a broader cross section of students and get to the point where it's even being discussed about different pathways now towards getting the diploma.
Yeah.
That is a game changer
It is.
in terms of catering to those students who learn differently and putting value not only on how they learn but the things that they are able to achieve.
Yeah.
No longer can we look at someone who is a mason or a carpenter and say that they are below someone who gets into UB.
Right.
You know, we cannot frame it like that anymore. We have to begin to see that those are just two different types of learners who play an equal role in the development of our country.
I agree with you 100%. I have always said, because when people would say, if you don't have good... I say, hold on. If I call a plumber or a mason or a carpenter, I want a smart plumber.
Exactly.
I want a smart carpenter. I don't just want someone who... Well, I had to do this because I couldn't do that. I want someone, and guess what? I work construction. And people who are brilliant, I mean, that's how the pyramids get built.
This is what...
The stuff what we saying wow about, that's who built it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So you're 100% right on that. This text says, thanks for the calm, clear conversation with the principal of Program Shaw. Congratulations to both gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Pleasant day to you both.
Yes, man.
First
Thank
thing
you.
I want to get off the bat is I want to know what's the real name of the school and the location.
Okay, so first of all, it is not a school. It is a program. It's a little technical thing in there, but it's important for me to point that out, that it's a program, and we are located on Gladstone Road. You would have to come on the Ministry of Agriculture's research farm that they have there. That's right behind where the farmers market is, opposite Royal Kids.
Yeah.
So right through there, that's where we're located. And then we put in we sell produce during the school term. Well, we still have the eggs now, but not so much produce. So you can come down and visit us and pick and pay. You know,
Wow.
yeah, you know, other places. Eggs in the food store, I like to say, you don't know where they come from. The ones from Bamsi, you know where they come from. But we have an added benefit. With our eggs, you could actually meet the chicken.
Yes, indeed.
Amen. Because even the little children growing up sometimes don't know where the eggs came from.
Exactly.
You know?
And it is important for the young men who have not been, they don't have a silver spoon. And so it is important for them to understand that they have to use whatever resource that they have to be able to sustain themselves. And so that's why we use agriculture to not just produce, but also sell it so that they could see that, hold on, this is a way to make money. And even if they don't go into it right away, if things go bad for them, they know how to do it. And a man, the more skills a man has, the less manipulated he could be.
Definitely.
Okay. Is it also a live-in or a day program where they come in and then they return it in the afternoon?
At present, it's a day program. The Ministry of Education provides a bus that picks them up from their doorstep, brings them to the program, and then the same bus takes them home in the evening. There's a driver and there's also a conductor because the student's safety is utmost important. So they do come and go home to add a residency aspect onto it. I know Minister Hannah Martin was really wanting to see that happen, and I'm hoping Minister Cooper, I've heard that he is also interested in it, but I've not had a chance to speak with him yet to hear it from him. Yeah, but that's the direction
I
we're
want to
moving
join in
in.
the bandwagon, a different bandwagon that is, or put in a proper light, because sometimes as teachers, we may say to children, oh, you need to go to this program, sure, you need to send you to show, as if they're sending you to prison.
Yes.
But actually, it's so useful and helpful and beneficial for the child as a person that the child may even, in many cases, be better than those who stay in the system and give trouble and say that they're in the regular school and whether it's a private or paid school or not. So especially when you mention the ways of learning, the children learn differently, and also they need remediation in maths and things like that. I think it's a very helpful program, along with the production of gardening and poultry and so on. So thank you very much so far. And I want to leave with this last thing. My grandson, who is about 5, he loves maths, right? He loves number blocks and things like that. But when I put him on some sight words and so on, he said, Papa, that's boring. And so I have to see if I can find something that's a little more exciting, right? But what's still going to teach him the sight words. The phonics. So I found Gracie's Corner. You may know, familiar with Gracie's Corner. That's
I'm
just
familiar.
listening to Hicks and so on, where you have children of similar youth, and they're dancing and saying the things, but they're related. And recently he had to color a picture from church, Joseph's coat of many colors, and he decided that Joseph will be a black boy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But I did a mistake in telling him put red for the lips. And when the picture was done, the picture was nicely done, but the red lip made the boy look like a girl. So I'm at fault with that.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome, man.
Well, just to kind of join in on something you were saying about the program, I'm very proud of the achievements and progress that we've made over this year. Take, for example, we have a student who would have been sent to us for grade 12, right? And generally when school sent them to us in grade 12, that means that's it for you, right? But this young man was able to come third in the Young Chef Culinary Competition. I think years ago.
Yes,
right?
he did.
Yeah, and so he came third in that. Now, he would have just met our culinary or hospitality teacher, and they were able to do that in such a quick time. So for us, he won the whole competition, even though officially he come third, right?
Yeah.
But from there, we were able, since he has that gift, to connect him with drifters who partnered with us in allowing him to do an internship there with them. So he's still there with them now. 2 days out of the week, he was going during the end of the term with us. And then he's going to be directed to the University of the Bahamas to do first a certificate in culinary skills and then move on to the degree program.
Excellent.
You know, and so what part of what we do is find these alternative paths to success. And people complaining all the time, right? But there's a lot of opportunities out there for people, not just like people who deserve a second chance, but just people who may not have resources.
Yeah.
From the last administration, the University of the Bahamas and BTVI were both tuition free.
Yeah.
You know, that's a game changer that we should be directing our young people towards instead of joining in and complaining about no opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, even further now, BTVI has made it even better that you could start going there through their dual enrollment program from grade 10.
Yeah.
My daughter was in the 10th grade this year at Catherine. She wants to be able to have fancy nails, but she don't want to pay. So she said, Daddy, could I go there?
Yes.
So now she's trained as a nail tech.
Wow.
She won't be a chef.
Right. But she can do that too, though.
You see what I'm saying? Her doing that at the 10th grade doesn't take her off her track. It actually gives her more skills that if Daddy run broke, she now has something she could fall back on. Do it, she now has something she can fall back on to empower herself.
Yeah.
And the only way a country can develop is if our young people have skills.
Yeah.
And the opportunities are there for them.
Yes.
I mean, the culinary program at the University of the Bahamas, you get uniform, you get tools. These are things provided by the program, you know, and they're doing this because there's a need for them in the hotel industry.
Yeah.
But you don't have to stop there, you know. Some people say, oh, that's a plantation. You don't have to stop there.
Right.
You can eventually have your own business.
Correct.
You know, Drifters is someone who started off at the hotel and now he owns his own business.
Yes.
And so that's how we develop a country by empowering our people through the skills. And one of the things that I kind of have a problem with is it has become so sexy to complain as opposed to going on and how we could empower our young people.
Yeah, powerfully said. Caller, we see you. We're going to run to a break here on Guardian Radio today. And we're here with our special guest, Ian Mora, principal at Shaw Program, along with a lot of other hats that he wears. I want to talk about healing. You use that word healing a lot. I want to talk about that healing when we come back. And, of course, caller will come straight to you after the break. Keep it locked here on 96.9. Fresh News, Smart Talk all day. Back after this.
Come make we get to victory. Them fight my brother and sister. And when we are dance, them say we're moving sinister. When all we do is love with culture. I beat the drums and we are chase the vultures away. Mana Shaka Zulu, Paul Bogle, Lulumba.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course. not cancer. You seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Guess who's back?
It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scuderi Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hopes instead of guns. Game time.
Budgeting and saving? Yes. Investing? Check. But what if you could do more? With an RF brokerage account, you can get priority access to local investment opportunities right as they come to the market. Never miss a bond or new share offering again. Plus, you can house all your investments in one place and benefit from expert investment advice. Contact us at brokerage@rfgroup.com to start doing more today. Some conditions apply. RF, money at work.
Turn a trip to Burger King Nassau into a galactic adventure with the Mondo and Grogu Whopper Combo, featuring special shake fries. Whether you're a bounty hunter in training or just here for your way, Burger King Nassau has everything Mandalorian and Grogu related you could want. Grab the toys, the mugs, the crowns, and your crew, and head on down to BK and celebrate the Mandalorian and Grogu adventure with Burger King Nassau. This is the way.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio. Choose Smart Talk all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Look how many years them whip we. That's where they whip our microchip we. And I the Babylon style of fit me. Buckle it out, come make we get to with victory.
Back here on Guardian Radio today, I am your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Enes III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Our special guest in studio today, the principal of program Shaw, Ian Mora, also a member of the Rastafarian community, and a proud husband, proud father. We're going to run straight to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. How you doing?
Hey, Sparky. How you doing, man?
Now you see, now you with you with my peoples now.
Yes, Elder Sparky.
Hey, talk you with my peoples now.
Yeah, man.
Because I tell you, one thing I like about you give Sparky chance to express himself.
Of course, man. Of course.
Man, you know, I always talk the same. You know, our Bahamian people, we always rowing and jealous of other people. You just listen to everybody. We always talk the story about our family history. Your granddaddy going off to learn how to be a dentist. He sent his son off to be a dentist. He came, your daddy Fuzzy came back. He sent you off to school. You came back more than a dentist. You traveled to Africa. You went all over the world to learn all these different religions and everything. You come back. You change your name to Anwar Saku. I can't remember that because I didn't know the English thing. But anyway, that's Dr. Inge.
Yes, sir.
Now you got my brother down there, the Rastaman.
Yes.
And somebody, look here, whatever they say, I was a little boy going to D Government High. And all my friends went off to college. I wanted to be an architect. My old man couldn't send me off, so I ended up going out to work. Now, when they came back from Shawnee, Oklahoma, here's my friends I grew up with now. We were just learning how to nightclub and drink Henneken beer and smoke Rockman cigarettes. Now, they come back with some other funny cigarettes from Oklahoma. See? Now, I thought that was against the law. They take me overnight with a bunch of fellas who in car turn up all the windows. I get what they call a contact high. Come back from all around Leipzig Club, and then we go into the King of Nights. I fall down when I come out the car. I didn't even touch the joint. Laughing and giggling. Right? But I felt good. We went inside, bam, bam, bam. and everybody went back off to university. Now, they introduced me to nothing. Now, the other day, somebody introduced me to going to Jamaica. Now, I end up in Jamaica, in Kingston, going down to Ocho Rios, in the Rio Hotel, going up to 9 Miles where they buried Bob Marley, going to Montego Bay, Duns River Falls. Then we gone to the marijuana farm. I see when the whole farm with marijuana. They're all kind of tourists smoking marijuana, buying marijuana. No problem in Jamaica.
Right.
I stand up in Kingston and Bob Marley place where they say they shot him.
56
next to
Hope
the
Road.
Prime Minister. They had his studio. You could still see the bullets in the hole. And inside the yard, there's a tree, marijuana tree. You can take pictures, but you can't pick it. In the yard. Then somebody take a picture of me and two police, each one on the side of me with a gun, and I smoking a ganja joint. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Now I coming back home. We coming back home now. The woman behind me in the plane said, "You know the police waiting on you." I spark. I said, "For what?" They think you got marijuana coming in. I say, "No, I don't get that to the driver." Plus, I buy him a 40-ounce of Dogon Black Johnny Walker Black. He said he never saw one of them. So he'll drink them by the capful until I come back. So when I reached the Dogon airport, the police was there with all kind of dogs. They ain't smell nothing. I said, "You smell anything?" Check my urine and check my Dogon feces, because they ain't not, if they're inside me, I ain't bring nothing.
Right.
Now we got Simeon Hall and all kind of people. We pay them to go all over the Caribbean checking on marijuana. They ain't find nothing that marijuana does to anybody. But they could find everything what alcohol and cigarette does to everybody. Give you cirrhosis of liver, alcohol. Give you cancer of the lung with doggone cigarette. But they legal.
Yeah.
But marijuana, what does nothing to nobody, is illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal, but they make money from it. And as long as they keep it illegal, they make money from it.
Definitely, Sparky. We can have that show. I'm glad you get that off your chest. With regard to program, sure. Since Sparky brought it up, how earlier text to talk about chemicals in affecting the students with regard to drug use. Are you finding that you have students coming in with those type of problems more or less, or how's that?
Well, the truth of the matter is that, especially with the demographic that we service, the use of marijuana is one of their coping mechanisms.
Okay.
Now the coping mechanism, it delays your ability to address whatever you need coping with. And so part of what we have to do in the program is give them alternative strategies on what they are using this to cope with.
Okay.
Because we also have a substance abuse aspect of the program. However, that in and of itself, from real life experiences, that may reach one or two people. However, when people are motivated towards their goals, they're going to do less of anything that's going to stop them from doing that, from achieving that.
Yeah.
And so the idea that we are promoting for them, especially with this being in the Ministry of Education and these being minors, is really about setting goals and not letting anything stop you from achieving your goals. And if you are doing something to cope, then you're not really going through the full process of developing yourself. Now, what you want to do when you become an adult, then that's totally up to you.
Yeah.
But you want, while you are a child now, while you are in developmental stages now, to equip your independent an adult as possible to be able to make those choices.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely important to have the guidance
Exactly.
at that level. This text says, excellent indeed. Some students remember their agriculture, art, and music teachers, etc., the hands-on skills more than they remember the purely traditional academic subjects. Let me think about my teacher. I remember Miss Collins for art. I had a teacher in kindergarten. Her name is Miss Bowalder, white lady from I can't remember where she was from, and she taught me how to cook spaghetti. All right, I remember my parents allowed for me to go. She stayed right near on the campus at Kingsway. So right after school, we went to her apartment and we made spaghetti. I never forgot that. She took me after we made it, she drove me to Scouts. Right, that day is etched in my mind more than some of my college days. And I was obviously 5 or 6 years old. So I relate to what the text is saying,
That wasn't just an experience. That was something that connected school to value to you.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have to do with these young men, what they've experienced so far has not been successful at showing them that school and education has value.
Value, yes.
So we then have to work with them to establish value for them. Now, that doesn't mean that we use our value system and tell them, you can get a good job, you can this, you can that, because some people aren't interested in a job. Had a young man with us this term. He wants to be a pilot. As far as he's concerned, he ain't really need to go to school to be a pilot because he won't be a pilot like smaller planes. So then you have to take him from where he is, what he's interested in, and show him that, yes, school actually does have value. And you're going to need this for this purpose, for that purpose, for the next purpose. Being able to estimate, being able to average. I'm not a pilot, so I don't know.
Right.
And so, but I go through these experiences with them, the staff, the counselors, and I got to big up the staff there. I love them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We are able to go through these trial and errors with them to see what can work, because we don't, there's nobody who can tell you what to work with this individual.
Yeah.
But you got to show them that you committed to stay in there with them.
Yeah.
And what that does, even if you don't find a solution right then, they are confident that this is a resource person that I have. And so on my journey, I could continue to connect with them until I find my way.
Yes. Let's try to get through these 2 calls before we go to the news. Caller, you're live.
Uncle.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Hey, how are you? And I forget the last name of your guest.
Mora. That's Mr. Mora.
Mr. Mora. Yeah,
Hold on. Uncle gave 2 names, so let me give my next name. You could just go with Bongo.
Yes, that's right.
That's easier for you to
Bongo,
remember.
yes.
Yeah. So listen, I think it's a very interesting topic, and your guest identifying some concerns with our youth. What piqued my interest was a term he used early in the call. I think it's objective disorder something. What was that term again? Yeah, it was objective disorder. Some people have
defiance disorder, oppositional defiance disorder.
Yeah, I want to steal that one from you because I'm realizing something now and dealing with some persons that. But it's good to be able to identify those things. And I have 1 or 2 questions. So what is your take on, number one, do you think the skill set that you have in identifying these things, that at this point where we are with our kids, we need to have more adults who interact with kids, go through some sort of training to be able to identify these things, both for people who interact, whether it be parents. I know that they have classes and things for parenting and through social services and so forth. And so my mind went on that. I know that there's a program available for that. And then secondly, in terms of the learning aspect, right? I notice a lot of universities nowadays, whether it be online, especially really up to the master's degree and PhD, where they are now recognizing something called competency-based learning. Right, where people learn differently doesn't mean that, for example, the traditional way that you're not able to retain concepts. You're in high school area to design programs around that to allow persons to feel like, they are advancing, and they're not separated, or I'm in a special category, or I can't learn. But again, I'll hang up and I'll listen to your response to those two.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Because the Ministry of Education has taken so much licks, I revel in opportunities to big it up, right?
Yeah.
So earlier this year, at one of the district awards, Southern New Providence High School, a pre-VOC student received an award. Now, pre-VOC are those students that require additional support academically, all right? They are the ones we used to call slow, and I just use that so people can identify. They're not slow. They are the ones people call slow. A guy, I forget what school he was at, but he was in the pre-VOC program, and he got an award for attaining BJCs.
Wow.
Wow. So that is a category of student that we once put on the side and say they can't perform. But because of the efforts that we're now using and the difference in approach and the growth that the Ministry of Education is going through, putting in specialized programs, putting in pathways towards success, you will find that there are more people who are able to achieve success. It just so happens that, unfortunately, good news does not travel as fast as bad news. So people, even though the ministry might put it out there, it seems to go over people's head, right? But that's in the long run. I like to talk about the food store, not the food store, the hospital bread. I heard they closed down now, right?
Really?
The whole operation. They don't produce food there anymore. I don't know if they still do the bread, but I could remember how wild their bread was, but they never advertised. They had people who would go there. People who wouldn't go to the hospital for service would go there for bread. You understand?
Right.
That's how good the bread was. And so when we begin to produce results that people can see, then they would have more faith in it. And I honestly believe that we are beginning, despite the challenges, we are beginning to see and discuss alternative paths so that more individuals can see the success that society wants out of them.
Yes,
right?
Indeed.
Now, as far as the training aspect, we all need training. We all need learning. In 10 years, people will be different. Humans evolve. And so, unfortunately, we can't use outdated strategies in an evolved society. And so, humans adapting, the evolution process is natural. And so now, after we accepted that, hold on, these results, whatever you want to call it, the results are not acceptable for national development. So what do we do about it? And I'm confident that we are on a path now to do some things, and a big part of that is training. One of the things, one of my immediate bosses, Mr. Higgins, has been on a mission to promote restorative justice in schools, so that we could move away from the punitive perspective and deal more with restoration.
And let's stick a pin there because I want to talk more about that. We have a caller when we get back, and we get some more texts. Our special guest today, Ian Mora, a.k.a. Bongo, is here with us. He is the principal of Program Shaw. And again, we're talking about the healing that has to take place in the school system, along with some other realities that we're facing. My name again is Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahunan Kusara. Back after this.
Hey, a Solomonic dynasty from the line of David, what a priceless legacy. Manashaka Zone and Kuma.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Zulu, Whitney, and Kuma, Whitney, Kunta Kinte, Whitney. Looks like Malcolm and Martin and Marcus and Fiery, Kuma, Whitney, Vela Kute, Whitney.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today. I am your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Eunice III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. We're in studio with Ian Mora, also known as Bongo. And he is the principal over at Program Shore. He's also a member of the Rastafarian community. And we are having a wonderful conversation. Let me just start off with the texts. Good day. I truly appreciate the passion Mr. Mora has towards the students and his natural abilities to deal with misunderstood young people. May God continue to give him wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as equally as you, Dr. Eunice, in all that you do. I salute post-Father's Day and beyond for the pleasant commentary by sharing experiences. Thank you so much. And we received that. So I know we had a call on the line before the break. You can call back when you have a chance. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, the Family Violence 242-300-5720. Recently, there was an article. There was a fight over at Doris Johnson Senior High.
Correct.
And some students were sent to Program Shore. And I want to read just a bit of what one of the parents had to say, because I want to get your response. The parent said, "My son is not even a Program Shore child." She said, "If you check his record, he never got in problems in school. I just drop him to school and pick him up. I just be there before the bell even rings, so he don't even have time to be idle. The mother said her son is not a problem student and is often praised by teachers. She also questioned how the placement would affect his graduation, as he is due to finish school next year. It went on to say that the program is 6 months, which would be more than half of grade 12. So how is he really coming to complete grade 12? She said he wants to be an orthopedic doctor. Last year, he completed the doctor's hospital STEM program when he was in for a year, and he was one at class. Obviously, you've dealt with this student. Everything that she said, he doesn't have a littered record of behavioral problems, etc. How do you deal with students like that?
Well, this is the beauty of having small numbers, low numbers, because we try as best as possible to, even though there's a framework we operate in, have it as individual as possible. Mm-hmm. So when students come to Program Shore, there's a report that's done on them through Psychological Services at Ministry of Education. Mm-hmm. Then we don't forget to big them up, because they are some really hard workers who has more work than people, but they get the job done, So they give us a report. Then the counselors form a behavior intervention plan along with the teachers, and that is based on established goals. What are the goals for these students? So each student would have different goals.
Okay.
That particular student never showed up to Program Shore because that parent, like many others, felt as though it would, as she said, it would be holding their child back, right? I learned many years ago that in life a bad thing happens to you so that it prepares you for something that you don't even know is coming your way. And I am grateful for the number of parents who were like her, but they gave us a chance. And at the end of the program, they're saying to us, "Thank you for the work that you have done." They're saying to the literacy teacher, "Thank you, I see a difference in my son." They go into the counselors and saying, "Thank you, I see a difference in my son." Because it's not, I have stayed away from framing it as it's a program for bad boys, as people say it.
Do y'all have girls there at all?
No, we have a counterpart, which is called TAPS, where the girls go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's just boys there, and also big up Miss Ching, who's doing the work over there, her and her team over at TAPS.
Yeah, I got to get Ms. Ching on, yeah.
Yeah, you do, you know. And, so your son coming there and him being all of these things, it wouldn't necessarily be a hold back for him. He would be given certain skills to help him navigate life's challenges so that he can avoid a fight.
Yes.
Because the truth of the matter is, if you're involved in a fight, even if this is your first one, you could get stabbed and that could be your last one.
Yeah.
You could get burst in your head and that could take you totally off track from. So it's not a matter of your son being a program shower son or not, which usually translate into a bad boy. No boy at program show is a bad boy. Every boy at program show could use some help to get to the next stage.
Yes, indeed. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio. Caller going once. I catch you. You thought he wasn't coming to you. Anyway, continue. We're trying to see if they come in. All right. So you talked about healing. I really want to touch on the reality that you're bringing to Program Shore. And I'm saying it this way. I have known you personally as a person who kind of has that position toward life. And it seems as if Program Shore is benefiting from that. Am I saying it in the right way?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope they benefit.
I'm saying it that way because you are part of the Rastafarian community, and the reality, may he rest and continue to rest in peace. Priest Blyden, Priest Sebi, these were elders who I would sit and talk with over the Catherine. They helped over the Catherine. And the Rastafarian philosophies and things that a lot of people need. They don't necessarily, and people may get upset because I'm saying that because we're an uber Christian nation. I remember as a child being told not to wear Converse because, and I was like, right? These were the things that were told to me until I began to really appreciate and understand more about what Rastafari is all about. But you're bringing the principles of Rastafari into the program, sure, and it's helping the youth. But talk about healing.
Well, let's start off with this. You fix things, you don't fix people. People heal. And once you understand that, then you understand that healing is a process. When you get cut, you can't force the healing. No. You got to be there and go through the process, the healing process. You know, if you pay attention, whatever needs healing, then eventually it's not a concern anymore. But if you ignore it, then it becomes something bigger. All right? And so for us, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring healing. We're trying to bring healing into the school system. We're trying to bring healing into our communities. We're trying to bring healing towards our families. I often have to say to parents, I can't help you if I judge you. And so you got to lay it on me.
Yeah.
You got to
tell me the story.
Yeah, because without you doing that, then I don't have a full picture in terms of what's going on. And so Program Shore, even in terms of how it's laid out, the whole thing about Program Shore is about creating a space for healing, a space for healing for parents, a space for healing for their children, a space for healing even for us. Because sometimes when you as a teacher, a child going through something and he cuss you out stink, trust me, at that point, you need healing too.
Yeah. That's
you know
a
what
fact.
I mean? So I don't want it to be like, we have this sweet by and by back there. No, it's just that we do our best to remember the human in them. Much of what life does to us, we have so much demands on us that we forget that the other person that we're dealing with is a human. I saw something on social media yesterday where a guy says even in traffic, he stays positive. When someone's cut in front of him, You know, usually we cuts and carry on. So he said maybe that person got a poop really bad. So that's something, I was telling my wife that yesterday, people blowing on the light. As soon as the light change, that annoys her. And I tell her maybe that person got a poop. They got a poop really bad. Because you doing that, you rehumanize them. And so your reaction to them is going to be different than if you're reacting to them as a problem. You see? Powerful. And so for us, we have to create the healing. And even for staff members, I say to them, I've been here for 20 years, but I don't want you all here for 20 years. I want you guys here for a few years. Learn what it takes to get through to this demographic of students. Then go back out into the regular school system so that we could create even more of that healing works. When a student is rude and disrespectful, when you frame that through oppositional defiance disorder as opposed to rude, you're going to operate differently with them.
Wow, okay.
When you say rude is... We operate especially with people that we have power over, that you owe me to be compliant. You owe me, like this is your payback to me. And if you don't do that, then your rude behavior, disrespectful behavior is grounds for me to separate myself from you.
Wow.
In program, sure. What it means is that I got to figure out what's going on with you. That do the work. There's a reason behind this behavior. And even when we can't figure it out, sometimes you can't figure it out. The children and their parents respect the effort. It's the effort. Because some of these healing processes, these boys have been involved in the heartbreak, the trauma, for let's say 10, 12 years. 1 year within our program is not going to fix it all the way. So I tell parents, what you're looking for is transformation. Transformation is 108. Only being responsible for 70% of that.
Wow.
Because he can only be with me for a year. This is going to be the rest of his life. However, if you participate with me for that 70%, you have help, and you can gain the knowledge and skills to help you to get the remainder 100 and how much? 100 and 110. Use the maths, man. 100 to get the 110. I may be available to you to 90. But then I have other students and other families that I got to help with. So I can't be with you for the full 180. But if you're with me through that 0 to 90, then you will be more equipped to carry this journey on yourself. Because it's not about the program being the center of healing. The program is a place where we equip people to heal themselves.
Wow. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live. Caller going once. All right, let's go to the next caller. Caller, you're live.
They must say I talking too much.
I don't know. They waiting.
My children say I have that problem.
Yeah. You're doing a great job. This texter says, Uncle, ask your guest if he needs any hands on deck to assist with men, encouraging them to be more respectful and knowledgeable men in society. How do you all deal with people who say they want to help or talk to the
This one could be maybe a little touchy. I accept all help. From legit people.
Yes.
Straight generally. However, if I'm an educator, actually let me dial it back. So in the Bible, whether you go by this story or not, in the Bible, God created the earth in how much days?
They say 7 days. Well, 6 and
6 and he rested, right? Okay, good. And so how did he make the moon and the stars? He did what?
He had to speak. And
he spoke them into being. The planets, everything. He spoke it into being, said, right? But what did he do when it come to man? Did he say, let there be man? What did he have to do? So God had to come down from on high. He didn't use air. He didn't use water. He wanted the dirt. The dirt, eh?
My Lord.
To get down in the dirt to create man. And if you believe that God is all powerful and he had to come and get in the dirt,
my Lord,
why do you think that your words are sufficient?
Wow.
Why do you think that you could come there and have and no disrespect to the individual,
Yeah,
just ride with me, right?
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of people who want to come there and they want to visit and they want to talk. But the truth of the matter is, if I understand that these boys don't learn orally, I'm doing you and them a disservice by doing that. And then you come because you want to help, you know, and to you, they're not receiving these that you have.
Right.
And so you get mad with me and say, oh, you ain't doing a good job down here because they ain't receiving. When really and truly, that's not how they receive. So if you want to come down and bring a car and show them how to service a car. Then their God will be down and they will receive. If you want to come down, bring a basketball or some sports equipment, and then they will be willing to receive. Open to it, but I'm also their advocate. And I have to say to people, yes, come down and see us. Come down and see what we're doing. We want to incorporate you into the program. However, we want you to do what they need and not what makes you feel good. Wow. You know, because then that makes it even worse. But can I add something onto there? So the program is evolving, and a part of that evolution, you would have heard about the student who we partner with Drifters with. What we are looking for is more partners, whether the young men can have opportunities to be exposed to new people, to be exposed to new ways of approaching the world, you know, so some internships, some shadowing in various businesses. Those are also things that we want to incorporate officially, especially in January and June of next year. So if you have a business, if you work in a business where they might be open to that, feel free to contact me at 449-8016 personally.
Say it again slow.
Okay, let me see. I thought I was talking slow. 449-8016. That's me. That's my, and WhatsApp is fine. But our numbers at the office is 341-2959. You can come down and pay us a visit. I'll be open to discussing anything with anyone, because even some people only got a few words to offer. If it's something that the students will benefit from, I will not say no.
Yeah.
You know, just because I have my idea of what they need, I'm not going to say no, because every little bit counts. However, I would like to have people to realize that these are boys. These are boys who are kinesthetic learners, meaning they learn using their hands. So if you have a message for them, then let's partner so that we could find a way for them to use their hands and be more open to receiving whatever message you have.
Amen. This text says, can someone who dropped out of grade 11 or 12 this school year be enrolled voluntarily in Program Shore, like this fall?
Unfortunately, at that point yet, where like a parent can bring their child. And it basically... So the way that people enter the program is they are referred through the guidance counselor. After the guidance counselor makes the referral, then that referral information goes to psychological services, who then make a determination if this is something that the school needs support on, or if the student requires our environment because he's at that level of need.
Okay.
So they determine that, and then they send a report to us so that we can work from that report.
Because I think there probably are parents who are going to hear this and say, hey, I think my boy could benefit from this. You know?
We already have... over these past few years, we've had even private school parents
Yeah.
who have said, I've heard about what you guys are doing, and I would like for my son to come into the program. The first lady that ever said that to me, I told her, he has to go to a public school first, unfortunately.
Wow.
He went into the public school in September, and by January,
He was there.
he was there with us.
Okay.
Yeah, by January, he was there with us. And so it worked out that way. So part of, I guess, what we have to figure out in moving forward is how do we open the door for more people to have access. However, at the same time, we cannot have large numbers because the nature of the work is so intricate that not providing the service that they need.
Wow.
So we have to find that balance
yeah.
of what is the right number for us to be effective. And hopefully moving forward, there may be more avenues that people can use to get their children into the program.
Yes, indeed. This texter says, solid conversation. They chimed in when it first started. Two of my favorite Africans, 1.5 Rasta. I'm half Rasta.
For a second there, I thought it was me.
No, I'm half Rasta.
Okay, good.
1.5 Rasta. They say we need more shows like this, man. Real sober talk, no blaming, just exploration of possibilities. Yes, indeed. That's what we can do. Let's go back to the phone lines. Call your life.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Innes, and good afternoon to your guests.
Hey, my brother. Thanks for calling, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everything cool. To your guest, Maura. I'm the gentleman. I'm the person who I think that was out by, Glasson Road, who was doing the coconut shell crop. I think your wife bought an coconut shell.
Oh, yes, I remember, yes.
Yeah, and while I was out there, I had told you how I wanted to turn that into an industry and how I wanted to help, in particular, the young men of the country who give them hope, who are hopeless, you know what I mean? Those individuals who finish high school who feel as if they are unemployable. Right now, you saw my work firsthand, brother. So you saw the great things that I do with the coconut shell, and I think you would be hard pressed to find anyone in this country that does a better job with the coconut shell than I do. And furthermore, like you could look at my work, Ian, and see that I could mind my own business. You know what I mean? I could make my work, and I could sell my work. You see what I make. I have no problem making money. Like I could mind my own business. But what I want to do is I want to take that skill that I have, and I wanted to teach it and make it to become an industry in this country so that we could employ individuals in a sustainable industry. And like you were talking about them owning their own business. And you would be hard-pressed, again, to find another way that they can become their own business owner so easily. Because as long as I teach them what to do with the coconut shell, he could go buy himself a hacksaw and a file, and he could have his own business. A hacksaw and a file. You understand? And he could be his own business. He can be an entrepreneur. But I think you took my number too, but I don't think I ever heard from you. But the reason why I want to talk to, because I think you mentioned the Ministry of Tourism, and I had went down by the Ministry of Tourism, by the the Tourism Development Corporation, and I presented after that day. The gentleman who I spoke to, he was asking me if I wanted to work, if I had a problem working with at-risk youth. I told him, no, I don't have a problem with that. That's what I want to do. And we were supposed to sign a memorandum of understanding. He never got back to me, but they discussed my idea, like he said, and they were excited about my idea and all type of different things. Now, I don't know if they have been in contact with you, because you mentioned tourism and skills and stuff like that and trying to get the fellas to learn that craft. But if they are learn that craft, Maura, you should know anyone does that better than I do. And if they came to you after Ferguson spoke to me, it's because of me that he did that. Now, Anku, I already mentioned to you what I'm about, brother. You know,
man.
You're all talking about people complaining all the time and how we're about solution-based.
We know you about solutions, so I can make sure that he has your number.
Hold on, but I'm going to finish it. Let me sum it up, brother. Now,
Go ahead.
Like I said before, in this country, brother, we have to support merit. We have to lead by example. We have to show those behind us how we must stand up for the right and the things that we must stand up for in society outside of the personal things that we do, if you understand where I'm coming from. But I feel as if what what has happened in this country is that individuals are so concerned about protecting the archetype that they have developed for themselves through the life that they have lived. You know what I mean? The archetype, that they fear anyone else outshining them. That's what I feel. That's what I feel.
And I could be.
Not all of us. I didn't call any names.
No, I with you.
But not all of us. Not all of us are here for that. Some of us are here to offer up true skills and to make this country a better place. And like I said, Mauro, you saw my wig, so you know what I am capable of, brother. And like I said before, I am in an industry, and I've asked Anku and other individuals to support the idea, because without the support of the public, the government does not move the way it needs to move. Now, we're going to talk about cooperation and working together collectively to force the government to do the right thing. Then this is a grand opportunity of a time. Not behind Anku, you know what I mean? And if any one of you all have a better idea than what I've shown than what both of you all have seen, show it to me so I can support you all.
Definitely, bro.
Show me a better idea.
I got some other callers to get to, but I appreciate the point that you're making. And I can let what you had to say.
Yeah. My norm in situations like that is to have people come and see me.
Yeah.
You know, and it would have been right there. You come and see me during the summer while we're doing our planning, and we can find some way to incorporate that in there. You know, being a program and not a school, we have a greater degree of flexibility. But of course, you know, it is
right.
And so I can't say, yeah, man, we can do this, we can do that. No, there's an order that I have to go through to let people know what it is that we're doing. But that is not prohibitive at all.
Yeah.
You know, so if that's something that you're interested in, come and see me at any time. You know, Uncle said he'll give me your number, so I'll message you, or when we're not online here, and you can come in and see me sometime during the summer, and I see no real reason for it not to happen.
Yeah, amen. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you live. Caller going once.
Great show.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for calling.
I'm well, thanks. Uncle, your guest mentioned that, they are cautious as to the amount of persons that, they take in at one time, and I quite understand why that would be. However, and then, he mentioned how a parent of a student from the private sector approached them, and then they had to go to the public school. Really and truly, I would think that we would reconsider and make it a little bit easier, even if we have to have two campuses. What we don't want to do is have anyone left behind because they attended a private school or, left behind because, and the numbers, of course, if the numbers get too big and they have to turn away some people, no telling what that person could turn out to be in the negative sense. So, I'd just like to see no one left behind.
I appreciate that comment. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that too. That is on the radar.
Yeah.
It's not like we're saying, okay, this is our number and that's it. We want to be able to build capacity. However, right now, what we're doing is focusing on programming, having the proper programming in place to service the numbers that we have.
Right.
And
then
then
even
from
sending
there,
those into the schools.
Right.
Right.
And then we can expand
Yeah.
in terms of getting more people in. If we just focus on trying to get everybody one time because we want these numbers, we've tried that before. And what it does is diminish our ability to get through to the young men, and then we get a bad name for being ineffective. And so we now have taken the role of being introspective, looking at what it is that we're doing while they are with us. And then once we can say, okay, this is our package, then now we can recreate or put somewhere else. Exactly.
Yeah.
But as you would have said, reminded me that a part of building capacity is not just about program Shaw itself, but about getting the skills and perspective into the average classroom. That would be more helpful.
Yeah.
And I think we are well on our way to that also.
Yeah. We're going to run to a break here on Guardian Radio today. We got some texts we're going to get to when we get back. And we're going to continue on tomorrow, a.k.a. Bongo. Keep it locked here on 96.9. Back after this.
And I got the Babylon style of fit me. Buckle it out, come make we get to with victory. Them fight my brother and sister. And when we are dance, them say we're moving sinister. When all we do is love with culture. I beat the drums and we are chase the vultures away. Mana Shaka Zulu, Whitney, Paul Bogle.
Impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Something that's good.
Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so good.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's a warrior spirit inside. It come for break every shackle and chain. Man Kuma, Whitney, Kunta Kinte, Whitney. Looks like Malcolm and Martin and Marcus and Fiery. Kuma, Whitney, Fela Kute, Whitney.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today, 96.9 Fresh News, Smart Talk all day. I am your host, Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Special guest in studio, the principal of the Shaw program, Ian Mora, also known as Bongo. We're having a great conversation here regarding the program itself, Program Shaw. But just, I think this is a conversation that people are having every day, whether they know it or not. This text says, I'm fascinated by the intellectual discussion you're having. And better than any politics, Dr. Eneas and Dr. Mora is adding love and positive possibilities to our young leaders. You're so respectful with your guiding light. Keep up the great work, gentlemen. Well, we give thanks for you listening. Yeah,
sure I do.
Yeah. So this idea now of we had a texter who wanted to throw a question at you, and let me just throw it. It says, good day, Uncle. Ask your guest his opinion on the TV show that comes on ZNS where Defense Force and police officers in my opinion, the text is saying, degrade, scare, and humiliate so-called quote-unquote rude children. What say you?
Well, first I'd like to say that you have to separate the show, which is seeking ratings, from the actual program that the young men experience. Because we like excitement, because we like drama, the show reflects that aspect of it. You know, who is going to watch 30 minutes of just counseling? People are not going to watch that. And so I assume that's why they went that route. But that is not a full reflection of what the young men experience. Second of all, there's no strategy that could bring you 100% efficacy. There's no strategy. And part of why we are losing our young people, because we put ourselves in silos and put the silos on hierarchy. So I am better than this one, I am better than that one. When really and truly, our greatest chance at success is by working together. There would be students who would be in program SURE who would end up in shock treatment. There would be students who are in shock treatment who are in program SURE or end up in program SURE. If either of us are looking down on each other, then we lose the opportunity to share what we would have learned about these young people so that we could be helpful.
Right.
There's a psalm, I think, that says a house divided must surely fail.
Yeah.
And so being Rasta, that is always at the front of my mind. Working on healing, that is always at the front of my mind. And so what they do over there, I would never so that people who aren't involved have the luxury to do that. But me, who is directly involved and understand what they're up against, I am more into complementarity than I am competition.
Right.
And so therefore, we don't do what they do, but we complement them as they complement us.
Okay, that's powerful. That's definitely powerful. We got another caller here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live.
Give thanks and praises.
Yes, 52. Respect.
Yeah, I had to call in for the brother because, I'm impressed like the texter. But, and so this conversation, I think it's Crystal who made something very clear during the Eye Open on Saturday, right? And they talk about the collective learning, right? And which she said that, when she's much younger than I am, and so I was kind of like nostalgic as to what she was talking about, where we would do homework together and study together. And so there would be a collective uplift, right? So I'm listening to Rasta, and so this is the way to go. And so somebody posed the question, some topic come up, you know how I go on, I'm a diverse mind. I don't know if I'm a cursed mind, but I'm not blind, so I don't want them to be left behind. What I'm saying is, all of this thing about the rat race, right? So I told someone, the rat race only exists if you in the race. You see what I'm saying? If you in the race, it exists. But for me, it don't exist because I don't run no race. And I don't want to see how we talking about the competition thing. That's where the problem lies. Uplift one another with the isolation of who's smart and who's dumb and time come. Watch this, brother. A person could have a 4.9, whatever, is like average, right? But that don't mean somebody can't overtake them in the race of life, because you can always keep studying by being relentless. So this competition thing is great to encourage people, but when you create the schism and the inferiority complex, right? Is where the problem lies for me. So I'm totally agreeing with what this gentleman is saying because, I really don't get it. Because people who, in school, I was in the top class in the English language. And so I was up there with the people. But what I'm saying is we never looked down on one another. I thought we would try and help one another, and we was more friendly and open. So I don't know if there's a schism because I'm not in the school system now. But for me, that's the way to go. And if you encourage children, that encourage one another to learn. Because I see it with my son in his preschool and where he goes. And so, we must stop this. Who want to be in a race? Give thanks.
Yes, indeed, 52. Just echoing what Bongo was saying earlier. It does not make sense trying to own the process as opposed to working with others who we all trying to see what's best for the children at the end and for the country ultimately. So if the ego get in the way and you worry about, Dr. Carlos Reed, them now, and they think they know everything, or Ian Moore, them think they know everything. Uncle, them think they know everything. I mean, it's like, what we doing? The children watching that, you know, they're very intelligent. And they're looking and be like, what is the problem if we doing that?
Not only that, they say this is how you operate.
Yeah.
You know, that this is how you operate.
Yeah, they learn to do just that.
But then they can do it more extreme than us.
Mm.
You know, and that's what happened time after time. We often forget that we are always on display with them. You know, that doesn't mean that you have to be perfect.
Right.
But you have to be aware.
Yeah.
You know, that everything you do with these young people, it counts for something.
Yeah.
It either counts towards where you want them to be or where you don't want them to be, but it can count for something.
Yeah. I know with the program, you obviously are very respectful of the identities of the young men in the program, because I know I wanted to celebrate, you know, what was going on, and you guided me as to say, hold on, just make sure I don't expose them. How do we get to the point we celebrate it, which is what this type of show is helping to do? Celebrate the program, let people know what it is actually taking place at Program Shaw, and protect the identities and just, you know, the realities facing these young men. How do we get that word out?
Well, this being a broad reach, there's already a formula in place.
Yeah.
My boy, Mr. Basil Johnson, superintendent of Simpson Penn.
Okay. Yeah, he's doing an excellent job.
And how do you know he's doing an excellent job? Because the media let us know.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I keep saying to him, boy, I don't know how you work that out. But I constantly see you in the news, and so we're going to need partners, you know, and the media has a broad reach. So we're going to need partners to come down and share what we are doing. You don't have to show the boys' faces, but you can, you know, this is 21st century, you can blur their faces. You know, one of the things that I would like to do, I have a student, Gary Coleman. He's short like him, and he reminds me of him. The first time he got in trouble, said some inappropriate things to the bus driver. Bring him in my office. He puts his hand in his, so I asked him, well, what, after the bus driver's man, put his hand in his pocket. Now I'm like, what do you have to say for yourself? He said, well, you know, boys will be boys. So he's in trouble now. Yeah. Just how you burst out laughing like that. That's just how I got to burst out laughing, because I got to be real. And then go back to correcting it, right?
Yeah.
But I call him Gary Coleman because he provides many opportunities like that. And for some of them, I try to tell him, yo, that same mouth that you're using to get in trouble, that's actually your gift.
Yes.
And nobody has taught you how to use it to operate like a gift. And so I would like to have them come in on shows. We don't have to say their names, but invite them in so that they could share their perspective also. That will be so empowering for people who figure that their voices are not being heard. So there's all sorts of things that can happen that can empower them, you know, and then all of that is rather public. Just having individuals that we can work with, like the mentorship. Mark Daniels, I forget the name of his company that he's working with now, but they have taken on one of our students over a midterm break to expose him there. Because, you know, 60, they say, I just learned this from Lars Mintz at SAC graduation. He said 60% of... You know what I mean? Huge. So that imprint on my mind. And so if we can get them exposed, who knows what else?
Because it's almost like we spend so much time trying to guard them from what we don't want them, but just guide them to what we need them to do, to expose them to. Yeah,
exactly. And what happens with the roach when you turn on the light?
Oh, they can scatter. Yeah.
That's the same thing with bad behavior. So if you keep putting them in the corner, keeping them in the dark, then like the roach behavior gonna manifest itself. But if you put them in the light, and had a student this time. He was given all kind of trouble. Just by chance, I gave him a leadership role one day. And by chance, then I realized, oh,
he's a leader.
This is what I got to do with you. You know,
Exactly.
he was so different in leadership roles. And so that's a part of why I've been there for 20 years, because like you get to investigate. It's almost like a lab. No day is exactly the same. Because I believe I might have a little bit of ADHD also and hyperactivity and all that.
Yeah.
Because I can't take no long running on and things.
Yeah.
So I could relate to them, right? And so we have to try and find different ways, just be out of the box.
Yeah.
But first, you have to humanize them. If you just see the behavior, then you want to control them. You want to stop the behavior, which is really selfish, because I want to stop the discomfort that you are giving me without addressing the discomfort that is causing you to act in this way.
That's powerful.
So we're being selfish a lot of times.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead. You're live. Hello, can you hear me? You're live. Okay, maybe they had the wrong number. You know, I had a student at a Catherine. I was the dean of student or the senior master. We took in this student from a private school, and we were getting calls from that school saying, "Look, first they want us, don't take him." They say,
Hey, and that happens a lot. Yeah, that happens
they say,
a lot.
Don't even mess with him. He it's like he turned the whole school upside down, you know. So I said, okay, glad to know that. You see what I'm saying? Glad to know that. And I immediately did what you did with that student. I put him in a leadership role. I said, you can be my this, you can be my that. And he looked at me like, you sure? I said, yeah, sure.
Exactly, yeah.
And you realize I had no problems out of that student.
Yeah.
For years.
Listen, people don't realize, when you label them and they know you label them, they give you what you expect of them.
Yeah.
They give you what so you think I bad? Well, let me show you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can be bad at what you think.
Exactly, because you've labeled me.
Yeah.
And talking to that same one who, with the leadership thing, that was one of the things that he taught me about him. He was like, because I asked him, how come you don't act with me like how you act with other people? And he said, you don't operate like the label they put on me. You know?
Wow.
And so I just take it as it is. I respond to what you are giving me,
You're serving
not
you-
to what
yes.
people say, because sometimes the school environment provides triggers. Not that people are doing bad things,
Yeah, I
but the
understand.
school environment is their trigger. So when they come to me, I won't experience all of what the people in the school experience. So I don't go against what the school says. I use that as a well, why are you acting that way there? And then they share what they know, and we are lucky if they are able to articulate, because most times they can't articulate at first. So you got to go through that process, understanding what are the triggers of that environment. But the environment doesn't owe you to not trigger you. You owe yourself to understand your triggers and manage them.
Wow. Listen, I wish we had another 2 hours because we just getting started.
Yeah.
But again, our special guest today, Brother Ian Mora, also known as Bongo, principal of Program Shaw, member of the Rastafarian community, my brother. We're gonna have him back on the show pretty soon. So just keep it locked in here. I pray to give me some more days, because I like having shows like this on a regular, because I feel like these are important shows stuff. But just give us some parting words before you head out, my brother.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to share this word, Ubuntu. How could I forget that?
Yes.
I should have started with
Yes.
that, the percussion band and the family. Ubuntu, it simply means I am because we are. And that is a very important principle for us to use and operate in our lives.
Yeah.
There is no me without you.
Right, Lord.
And so we have to move away from the individualist perspective and understand that we are all connected, and a little bit of healing can go a long way.
We're gonna stop it right there and continue on another day. Thank you so much for listening here, 96.9. Again, my name is Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun, Uncle Sarah. Earl the Pearl is up next. And Trey. He said, you got to tell him your name Trey too. That's right, I Trey as well. See, I don't like everyone calling me Trey. But yes, I'm also known as Trey. Keep it locked here on 96.9. The Talking Head is up next. Earl the Pearl is going to be with you. Keep it locked here. Back next week, most high willing, the Master family.
Lulumba, it's like Martin and Malcolm and Marcus and Fiery, Yahweh, King Selassie,